Mic check. How's the mic volume? Check, check, check. Good morning. Oh, I got the best news today. I will share with you later. I got really, really good news. It doesn't really pertain to a lot of you, but it does pertain to me. All right, who we got in here? GC, Foster, Big Ron, S. Jackie, Hunter, GC, Foster. Oh, you two I already said your names. Jeremy, welcome in. Hello, good morning. The usual suspects. I took a swing trade on Tesla at the wrong time, didn't I? I thought it would be a good swing trade. It may still be a good swing trade, honestly. I'm not overly concerned. So here's the deal. I took a swing trade on Tesla. It was consolidating into this big bull pennant. And if you know anything about Tesla and like how it usually moves, something like this, just like big runs like this, just when you think they can't go any further, the next day, a lot of times for Tesla, historically, they just gap up. Like these big runs like this into the end of the day, next day usually gap up. Because it was Liberation Day, as so coined by President Trump, we get a sell-off instead of the follow-through gap up, which I think we definitely would have got had it just not been all of that tariff news that was announced. But I'm not overly concerned about the position for three reasons. Number one, I have time. I've got time on my side. That's why I went multiple months out on my expiration for my Tesla swing. So I have time. Number two, the risk is managed anyways. I made sure that even if this position went to zero, I'm not risking the full amount of profits that I've made in the $1,000 account challenge so far. Number three, well, I had a number three. I forgot what it was now. It slipped my mind. But I got good reasons for not panicking out of the... Oh, number three, we've been in a reversal market. It's been a theme. So even though this morning is a gap down day, what have we seen recently? We've seen gap down days total. I mean, we just saw that earlier this week, didn't we? When was that? Here. Gap down day here, totally reversed. I think that... well, I'd have to go look at SPY. Here's another one. Gap down day. That was actually just yesterday. Shoot. Yeah, gap down day, totally reversed. So we're fine. I'm fine. I'm not overly concerned about this position. Of course, I want it to work out, but if it doesn't, then that's the risk that I was willing to take. But yeah, for those three reasons, I'm okay. And if you're wondering what position are you in, I made an announcement in the alert room. Where was this? Here. I said just now. This was yesterday towards the end of day, 1:28 p.m. So not quite at the close, but during the formation of this bull pennant pattern. I took a swing position on Tesla in the challenge account. It's very rare that I take a swing position, especially in a challenge account. I'm up over $100 since the start of the challenge. So on this trade, I'm risking no more than $100. You can only lose what you put in, right? So the contracts that I purchased, the 107... Oh, sorry. This is hard to read sometimes. 6:30 calls expiring July 18th. Entry is 1.07. So even if this position goes to zero, the maximum amount that I could lose is 107, and I have time. So chances are, if we hold this all the way to expiration, which I don't expect that we will, but if I do, chances are I'm probably going to make more money between now and then anyways. That $107 loss won't affect me too much. That's the hope, at least. And I said, ideally, I don't want to lose more than 50. Looking for this to go multiple hundreds of percents. And I do still feel that that is possible. I did also say that I'm okay with this going to zero. Not that I would likely let it go to zero, but in case... I need you to know where my head is at. So basically, I was telling you, like, if you're following this position, this trade to make sure you're managing your own risk. How long am I going to hold? Till I'm in the profits, I guess. I mean, like I said, I don't want to really lose more than $50 on this trade, but this morning, honestly, I might be down 50 immediately. I might be down 50 right away. And that's a pretty large drop on Tesla. Let's see, percentage-wise, about a 6 or 7% drop. So it may be, I mean, but look at if we just look at the daily on Tesla, how much room it has to potentially recover. And between now and then, which is way over here, right? We've got the earnings report. So that may be a saving grace. Could also be something that hurts us. We'll have to see. If I have an opportunity to take profits before earnings, then I probably will. You said zero or hero? Yeah, I hope not. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I said if you could choose to follow if you'd like. It's not something that I normally do. And then I gave you the news drop with Musk leaving Doge, and that's kind of the reason Tesla was running. On top of that, there was a large tariff put on imported vehicles, so non-U.S. vehicles, and Tesla is, I believe, the largest, or if not the largest, one of the largest U.S. made. So we'll see where it goes from here. Okay. In other news, in the Day Trade Watchlist channel, I almost always give you a focus list. I did not give you one yesterday. And I said it because I just wanted to see where things are at this morning. That's why we're live so early right now. I said it could be a totally different scenario come open. A lot of times you'll see initial reactions like this, big gap downs or gap ups after hours that then reverse, and things can totally change. I don't know if that's the case this morning. Doesn't seem like it is. But I didn't want to do work twice. I didn't want to go in yesterday and do a lot of analysis on stocks that look mostly bearish just to see them reverse and feel mostly bullish and then have to do work twice. I'm not a fan of doing that. So I just figured, we're going to forego any of the analysis last night and we'll do it all this morning. I said, as of right now, we're looking for the continued sell-off, but that could change. And so let's go ahead and look at SPY and see where we're at. Doesn't seem like that idea is going to change. It looks like we are still going to look for a continued sell-off. Now, there's a lot of, we're going to have to do what's called cross time frame analysis here, because where a lot of these names have gapped down to, they have not traded on the daily time frame recently. So we have to draw new lines based off of the pre-market and then kind of see where those lines relate to on the daily. So for SPY, your low is going to be 544. We're on the 5-minute. We're going to be flipping between the 5-minute time frame and the daily. So 5-minute time frame, we'll go to the daily here. We see that this is so let's just kind of remind ourselves of the setup. Bear flag breaking down into another bear flag here, minor bear flag that also broke down, gapped down, really. Next support point, where is that going to be? Probably, so we're trading here, probably going to be 540. That's going to be our support point. So if we're looking for lower lows out of SPY today, I mean, this thing, because it's running off of a news catalyst, or selling off of a news catalyst, rather, it could just keep going beyond any recent lines of, or closest lines of support. But it's always good to identify what is your potential profit margin. And from 540 up to 544, that's going to be our profit margin for SPY initially. Now, it may continue to go through that, drop through that. So right now, this looks pretty good. I like the short below the pre-market low at 544. Let me pull up my watch list. So we'll go SPY, short below 544. And now our question is, how aggressive do we want to be on the long? Because everything above where this opens at today, up to yesterday's low of day, all of that there, let me clean this up. All of that is a gap overhead. from the current trade price to yesterday's low of day, all that big gray box that I just drew is a gap. So if we're looking at this, maybe we look for a break of a downtrend trend line, which means we might be able to go long as early as 548. That doesn't make the most sense to me because we're going aggressive with the short. We don't want to be so aggressive with the long. So I think a long at 548 is not going to work for us. Our next high, though, is up here around 550. So if we put a line at 550, this makes a lot of sense to go long at 550 because of a few reasons. You would, one, have a break of this pre-market after hours resistance. Two, would have a break of this downtrend trend line, so the stock would no longer be making these lower lows and would start to make higher highs and probably higher lows, hopefully higher lows along with that. So no longer lower highs and lower lows, but then higher highs and higher lows. And you would be getting a break of the whole number at 550. And there's still plenty of gap to be filled from 550 up to 555. So our profit margin top side looks good. It's about a $5 profit margin top side, about a $4 profit margin to the bottom side. So I think we rock with those two levels. Long above 550, we're going to try to be, so we're not being overly aggressive with the long here, but we're not being very conservative with the short, or very conservative with the long either. You know, we're not saying let's just rule out a long idea totally. We have to keep that in, we have to keep that as a possibility because we know we've been in a reversal market. We know we have. So we'll go long above 550, short below 544, and we may edit the short level if things continue to move from here. All right, so that looks good for SPY. Another one that got hit hard with this tariff news is Apple. So let's kind of see where Apple's trading at. Looks like I already have a line at 210 on the daily from something. So let's just delete it. It's fine. We can redraw it if we want to. Our pre-market lows is 206. So 5-minute time frame, pre-market lows is 206. So let's go to the daily and see where our next line of support, it doesn't have a lot of support below this because this is your, let's make sure, this is your all-time highs, right? So the only price action that we have is everything that we can see. So this is now the weekly time frame. So our next line of support is going to be this prior line of resistance, which conveniently is the whole number at 200. This is a bear flag on the weekly too. That has now broken down. That's a bear flag for you right there. All right, so we're looking for the lower lows out of Apple, which will be a short idea under your pre-market low, and then your profit margin is going to be down to 200. That's about a 3% move. That's possible there. I like it. I think it's great. I think that's good for us. So we will go with Apple. I think a lot of these tariffs are going to affect their distribution centers. That's something I was reading about. It makes sense. So we'll go short below 206 on Apple. Let's go short below 206. And what we'll say here in the comments is looking for lower lows following the gap down on tariff news. And I mean, that's just as simple as it needs to be. You know, sometimes the simpler the better. Now, this is the same thing as SPY, which is everything above the stock's current trade price up to the prior day's low. That whole entire area is a gap to be filled. It's not really a bullish setup at all. So there's no point in going aggressive with a long trigger. So let's just set a long at your after hours pre-market resistance up here at 211. I don't expect it to get there, but just in case we do see a reversal like we have recently, I think it's a good idea to at least place a level. I don't expect it to get there, but who knows? Who knows in this type of market? So Apple, we'll say short below 206. I probably should add this too, / pre-market low, and SPY also / pre-market low, just to make sure that you know, and everybody else knows to adjust. All right, Tesla. Where do we look at? What do we look at here? So this is a gap down on Tesla, but it doesn't make a lot of sense on this to go short because there's so much support below. So unlike something like Apple, right, that has a 3% profit margin down to the bottom side, down to 200, I don't see that same thing here with Tesla. Like if we were to go short at 264, well, guess what? There's potential support at 260. Okay, well, if we go short at 260, well, guess what? There's potential support at 254. Okay, well, if we go short at 254, there is going to be potential support probably at the whole number at 250. So we're looking at this like, where would we go short on this? And then if we do go short on this, where does it sell off and find support there and bounce? Does it sell off and find support here and bounce? Does it sell off? Where would this find support? And then where would this bounce if it bounces at all? So Tesla, because there's so much support below, honestly, I probably would not feel comfortable. And look, even if we go short at 250, there's support over here at 244, 245. I just don't feel comfortable or confident going short on this today. There's too many support points. I think what I might let this do is if it does sell off from here, just let it go. Let it sell off. If it wants to sell to 250 or 245, that would be a larger move. It would be a missed opportunity. But what that would do then is set us up better for a break of this true low going into tomorrow. So basically, we're foregoing a potential trade on Tesla today to the short side to be able to capitalize on a better move tomorrow or a better setup tomorrow. I wouldn't want to take this long until a break of probably, ideally, I'd like to see a break of 290, and I thought it was going to give us that. At this point, maybe 282, 283 with your previous day's close up there, but it's so far, like I said, that's 6%, almost 7% away from the stock's current trade price. I don't think we even add Tesla to the watch list today. I'm going to put it as a side chart long above, I'm going to put it as a side chart long above 283 just for right now as a placeholder. If we can't find anything, because this is going to be, that's a Hail Mary play. Like, I don't expect that to happen at all. But like I said, we've been in a reversal market. We've seen crazier things happen. Tesla can make that type of move and continue to go. We saw it yesterday. We saw a massive move out of Tesla. Yes. So maybe there's a chance that it goes. This is a Hail Mary idea. That's why it's a side chart, not a main chart. And right now it's a placeholder. If we find a full watch list that looks better than Tesla and something that looks better, we'll remove it. But for right now, we'll leave it on there. All right. Let's scroll through the list here and just see what's trading where. All right, so we do have, this is Meta, break of this uptrend trend line, and then a move down into your pre-market lows. So your whole number now on Meta is 550. It's trading at 550. Let's look at the daily. Where's 550 in relation to, okay, so if we pull that line back, let's just pull a line back at 550. Where's our next major line of support? This is also your all-time highs, right? Like, it's never traded at these price points before? I don't think so. So the only thing we have to go off of, this is a big ascending triangle breakout right here. That line of resistance is going to be your next line of support. That means under 550 on the daily, we're on the daily here, under 550, we've got room down to maybe 540, 545, 545 at the very least, maybe as far as 540. That's a $10 drop. That's possible under your pre-market lows at 550. Good. let's add Meta. Let's go Meta short under 550. I'm going to place this as a side chart for now. I don't think I'm going to put a long level on this because, let's see, 568 up to the bottom. Yeah, so from 568 up to the bottom of the gap at 573, 574, doesn't seem like that's enough profit margin to go long. Yeah, 1%. Yeah, we're only going to set a short level on this. So that's why this will be a side chart. Just for right now, if we find something better, we'll add it. So let's go 550 on Meta / pre-market low. Can I do Google? Yeah, I'm going to get there. I just started all of this analysis, so I'll get there. I'm rolling through my list here. What I'm looking for, by the way, when I'm scrolling through these quickly, what I'm looking at and looking for is this. I'm looking for anything in the pre-market after-hour session that looks a little different. A lot of stuff's probably going to look pretty much the same with your pre-market sell-offs. But I'm looking for maybe anything. Maybe there's something out there showing relative strength. Maybe something gapped up off of this. I don't know. I haven't looked yet. So we'll get there. I see you talking about Google and Amazon. Just stay patient for me. We'll get there. INTC, this gap fills at 21.2, under 21.7, down to 21.2. So the gap it's weird because it's a gap down that's filled the gap in the pre-market. Now, because there's so much price action inside of the gap, it's technically still a gap, but it's not going to be a gap fill down into the gap. It would actually be a gap fill back up. And the only way that we could trade this into this gap would be to go long. And if we're going long, where's the resistance? 21.5, 21.6, 21.8, 22. It's too much resistance overhead. INTC, not worth putting on the watch list. Though it's something that would probably continue to sell. Maybe you could look to take it short under 21. We're gonna keep rolling. Disney, Roku, TNDM. So I'm skipping a lot also because they usually, me as an options trader, a lot of these names don't have great spreads on the options contracts. Some of the on the options chain, some of them don't even offer weekly expiration contracts. So we're going to skip through a lot of these pretty quickly. A lot of them, like, the volume could be low intraday. Here's a sign for you that you have. Let me see if I can find a good example, actually. Okay, so this is a sign of algorithmic trading. Anytime you see, this is the 5-minute time frame for PANW, P-A-N-W, Palo Alto. Fairly popular stock. But 5-minute time frame candles are gapping up and down. That's a sign of algos. Look at how low this volume is. Even if this was a really good setup today, as an options trader, I can't trade. I probably would not trade this stock, at least not with options. With common shares, that's a different story. So I'll skip it. Baba. Okay, interesting. So Baba, we know it's a China name. Sold off, but then recovered. Had a really nice recovery. Could we maybe, and it's not far from the previous day's close, could China maybe rally and go, Baba, I said China, could Baba maybe rally and break 130? Possibly. I'm going to set an alert there. I'm not going to put it on the watch list. Okay, Microsoft. This is not close enough to this low for me to want to take this trade short. So if we were going to go short, it would be under your pre-market low, probably at 370. I see support at 368. I don't think we add this to the list. I mean, I'll write it down. Maybe we can come back to it if it opens up closer to 368. But for right now, we're not gonna even mess with this one. Let's keep rolling. Zoom, Nvidia. Okay. So Nvidia, now where is this at in relation to any potential point of support? That's your whole number. Pre-market lows is trading at 103. So daily time frame, what is up with this? Hold on. Okay. Daily time frame, this does have room to sell down to 100. So we can add Nvidia. Short idea below 103 down to 100. Our profit margin here would be about 3%. That looks pretty good. So let's go. Let's add this as a main chart. We'll go Nvidia. We're not looking to take this long, I don't think. Yeah, it's not. We can't. I don't think we would. We can't take this because your yesterday's low is just not enough of a gap compared to, yeah. No, we got to, I think, stick with the main theme here, which is going short. So let's go short below 103. And we'll say on watch for a move down towards the 100 hold number. Audio going out? Yeah, it's probably something. Some of the servers on YouTube. Try if it's really messing with you, try leaving and coming back. Try refreshing it. Maybe next time I will go live on Zoom instead. I don't know what else I can do on my end to help you fix that audio. So just, I don't know, try getting a new a refresh. Just leave and come back. Looks like GC said it fixed it. All right, CW, we're moving on. PayPal, Netflix, cost, Lulu. Oh, Lulu's down quite a bit. That's a pretty big drop. Okay, we'll keep moving. Lulu's not one that we would normally day trade. EMU, Starbucks, Target's down quite a bit. Target, okay. Let's keep going. Cat, Ulta, DPZ, Hubs, Amazon. All right, let's see where Amazon's at. Somebody, I think, requested Amazon. So under 181 is your pre-market low. Daily time frame. Yeah, I mean, it's under the 200 EMA. It's definitely selling. It's gapped down. My concern is that it's trading right at support at 180. Under that, it's not like there's a clear, it's not like there's a lot of room for this to drop. So because there's a lot of price action here. Like, look at where it's at, where it's trading at, which is that line at 180. And then look at all of this price action to either side of 180. That's a lot of support and resistance. So it's tough to say that this has, I mean, could it, if we get a continuation sell-off, could it continue to sell? Yes. Could we just look to take it short under 180 or 181? Yes. But then what is our profit margin here? It's really difficult to see that clearly because there's so much price action. So I think that we probably skip it. But I do want to say this. On just about anything and everything, if we see this same fearfulness sentiment stay true in the market and we don't see a reversal, you're likely going to just be able to go short on anything and make money. So if you really want to trade Amazon and you have a better plan here than what I can formulate, don't let me tell you not to take your trade. By all means. Because it absolutely could still work. I'm just looking for more high probability setups that offer cleaner profit margin. Cleaner room to run, cleaner room to fall, cleaner profit margin. So I'm going to skip Amazon. We may come back to it, but I think I'm going to skip it. And this is why. AMD probably offers you a way better setup than Amazon. So let's look at it. Weekly time frame. Daily. Let's go daily time frame. Under 100 down to 95 roughly is going to be new 52-week lows. All right, it's under 100 right now. 100 certainly is going to be your point of resistance overhead, that being your hold number. Down, we said, is our next point of support. That's going to be your 52-week lows. Profit margin up to the pre-market low, 2.2%. It's trading right at the after-hours low from yesterday, 97. So I like AMD. Short below 97. We'll look for a price target of 95 in mind. And there's already negative news surrounding these semis anyways. So I think we add this one to the watch list. So let's go AMD. Short below 97. And would we want to take this long? Could we say, let's go long on this? We could, because it's making a downtrend trend line, lower highs. We could go long on a higher low. It is a larger gap to be filled up to 101, so there's plenty of gap to be filled here. We go long at 98.5. So I'm trying to figure out, could we go long earlier than 100? If we go long at 98.5, my fear is like, okay, there's resistance here. Maybe it hits and rejects. There's resistance here. And then there's definitely going to be resistance at 100. So I don't think a long at 98.5 is going to work. And a long at 99 doesn't offer us enough profit margin up to 100. I think the only way we could look at even taking this long is going to be on a break of 100. So we'll add that on the list. I'm not looking to take this long. Maybe things reverse, though. Maybe they do. So we can't rule that out. Let's go long over 100. Not that I expect it to get there. We'll go long over 100, short below 97. And we're going to say stock looks weak on the daily. On watch for a move down to your 52-week lows. The comment section here is pretty weak. I mean, it's just standard across the board. We're just looking for lower lows mainly. What else are we given? All right, Google, here's one. Somebody requested this one. So we're here now. Where is this trading at? Okay, trading at the 150 hold number. Immediately, I like that. I can tell. I don't even need to look at the daily. I can tell that this is a bear flag here that broke down, that gap down this morning to the whole number. So it's already got two things that I like. Number one, pattern breakdown, bear flag breakdown. Number two, trading at the whole number at 150. Looks good. So let's see on the daily, what's our profit margin here? If we pull, let's go weekly actually. This is a great spot. If we pull that line back at 150, look at this. It's not perfect, but we have resistance, support, and a break of that 150 support point. Where's our next support line going to be? Probably at this point of resistance here, which is going to be near your 200 EMA on the weekly time frame. There is some price action between 140 and 150, not a lot. I like this. And there's also, look at this, also a gap. So if we pull this gap to the right, that changes things actually. That changes things. Because now this means the top side of our gap is going to be our potential point of resistance, or support rather. The top side of this gap is going to be support. But if it enters into that gap, it fills that gap. Now we're looking at a move down to 144 potentially. So let's go 5-minute time frame. It's all. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was already under 150. Under 150. Let's just say it sells $4 down to 146. What's our profit margin here? It's over 2%. So I would say short under 150, price target 146, top side of the gap. Then under 146, if it continues to sell, Then we start looking for the move down to 144 to fill that gap. Let's add it. This would be something that probably is going to replace Tesla. I'm not going to overload this watch list. So let's go Google below 150 / pre-market low. It's actually already under 150, isn't it? That's right at it. We'll probably wind up editing that level. So let's say Google short below 150. That's going to likely take Tesla off the list because I love this set. I like this setup. I don't want to say I love it. I like this setup a lot more than the Tesla idea. Oh, gold came down. Dang, all right. I need to hit the gold store in gold. Might want to go sell. You said you like PLTR? I don't know if we've passed that one yet. We haven't gotten there yet. It's coming up. AT&T and Verizon looking good. Let's see. ATT. What's the ticker for that? What's the ticker for AT&T? Verizon? You said Verizon? Oh, it's actually holding up. Probably not something I would day trade, and here's why. So I talked about the gaps on the so this is 5-minute time frame, right? I talked about the gaps on the 5-minute time frame. If you ever see that, that's a big sign that that's just algorithmic trading. This is another big sign. Anytime you see a bunch of dojis like this 5-minute time frame, anytime you see dojis, white dojis like that, and like this, especially as close to the open as this is, usually, you almost never get that at the open on anything else. But when you see it here, like that's all algorithmic trading. So I don't like trading against algos primarily because they're unpredictable. Humans are creatures of habit. That's why stock patterns exist and shape up. And that's why stock patterns work from a psychological standpoint. If we're all looking for the same stock patterns and we see the same confirmations of a breakout or breakdown from that pattern at the same time, we all tend to react the same way, which is either going to be, hey, let's all buy at this time or let's all sell at this time. Algorithms sometimes, they're lightning fast for one. Two, they can just do the opposite or not do anything at all from what you see. So it's a little easier. I don't want to say trading is easy, but it's easier to trade against humans that are predictable than algos that are not. Does that make sense? So anytime that I see dojis on the 5-minute time frame like this, big sign that there's not a lot of volume for one. Two, it's primarily algorithmic trading. Something I would stay away from for day trading purposes, though I will agree with you. It is holding up. It is showing relative strength. Everything else is selling off, and VZ's still above the previous day's closing price. So I'll give you that on this name. All right, let's continue on. AAL. Oh, Nike's down quite a bit. I saw somebody preaching Nike as a buy when it was just at, like $100. And this thing has just been selling, man. I hope that person's okay in their position. Yes, now it's $60 from highs of 180. And then you might look at this and you say, like, if you really believe in the company, this is probably a really nice dip buy. But how far is it going to sell? This is probably, if you believe in the company and you think it's going to rally back up, even from here, even if it just gets to 100, from 60 to 100, you're looking at 65% gain. And that's on shares, if you were just to buy shares. I'm not saying to buy Nike. Oh, it's at 55. It'd be even more. You're almost looking at 100% gain, So I'm not saying to buy it, but this right here, this type of selling, like this is a dip buyer's dream. This is an opportunity. I'm not saying to buy it. I'm just saying that's kind of, everybody's like, a lot of traders that I met, at least throughout the years, where the market has been at, all-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs, and nobody wants to buy because stocks are at the all-time highs. Well, this is your chance to buy right now, but now nobody wants to buy because everybody's scared. How far is it going to go? How far? You got to determine, like, are you playing a longer game 5-10 years from now? Do you think this dip's really going to matter? Historically speaking, no, it's not. Stocks will probably be back at all-time highs. That's historically speaking. Now, it may not happen, but every single dip ever, every single bear market ever has always been bought up. And so it's always paid to buy the dips. And that rings true for, not just Nike. I'm not talking specifically about Nike. That's just the market in general. That rings true. All right, let's keep rolling on. This is Boeing, DKNG, Snap, Snow. I think we got a pretty decent watch list so far. We're going to skip through a lot of these names that are not really day traded. Okay, so PLTR, here's one. Somebody requested PLTR, so we'll spend a little bit of time here. All right, your pre-market low is technically 81, but you have an after-hours low at 80, and then you have another low at 79. Under 79, let's look at the daily. Under 79, your next support point is probably going to be here at 75. See, if I pull that line back, it makes sense. That makes sense. Then you have like this pennant breakout right there too. This is also a bear flag that's breaking down. Yeah, I could see this working. I would not go short on PLTR though, anything like no earlier than 79. And that is a concern because that would mean that PLTR needs to drop another 2.5% before it even gets to a price point where I would feel comfortable taking an entry. Here's the thing. You can't go short under 81 because you got potential support at 80. And you can't go short under 80 because you have potential support at 79. It's not until the break of 79 that you've got clear room for this to fall. And that's 2.5% away from the stock's current trade price on top of a gap down that's already 7% down. Now, like I said, market conditions could warrant everything just continuing to sell off aggressively. So it may still be something that prints for you. But that's how I would approach it. I'm not going to put this on the watch list because it's not trading right at the breakdown point. It doesn't look like Google, for example, or it doesn't look like AMD. You see what I'm saying? It's trading a little further up off of that support point, which means it needs to sell further before I even take an entry, and then it needs to continue to sell further for me to even profit off of that. So this doesn't make sense for me today. Not today. So we'll leave it off the watch list. Apple, we've already talked about. Hood down quite a bit. We'll skip that one. Hood's I kind of put Hood in like the meme stock category, but it also has been moving with Bitcoin news. So I just kind of try to stay away from stuff like that. All right, I'm just scrolling through these very quickly. That's IWM, CVX, BYND, SPY. We've already talked about Uber. So things have continued to move. We're going to have to go edit our levels. SMCI, Reddit. Reddit actually has a really nice setup here. Let's look at the contracts for Reddit. No, it's ass. These are, it's too spready. And the open interest is super low. Let's look at next week's maybe. That's even worse. The spread between the bid and the ask is too high. I can't trade this. But this is a really nice setup. If this was like Tesla or Google or Apple, this would 1,000% be on the watch list and probably be your top stock pick of the day. Let me tell you why. For one, the stock is overextended. It's been overextended. This thing ran from what it run from $50 all the way to highs of $230. Way overextended. Big pump and dump. Has since pulled all the way back. But look at this fat gap on the daily. All the way down to $82. This is a gap from a previous earnings report, which now looks like, because it has been partially filled, that gap now looks like that, right? So on top of that, you've got this descending triangle formation here, which is a pattern, flat line of support. It's not perfect. I'll make it perfect though. You know, with the exception of that one wick down, you've got a flat line of support and a series of lower highs. So it's a pattern, descending triangle. Underneath the breakdown of that pattern, you've got a gap. So it's a gap fill. That's 2 reasons. Number 3, 5-minute time frame, the gap down here is trading right at the support from here. Look, I hope you can see that all on one screen. From here to here, the gap down is right at the point of support, and on top of that, it's under the $100 hold number. So it's a hold number trade idea, a pattern play, and a gap fill play. Short idea under 97 for Reddit looks amazing. This is a really quality setup here. This is something I would probably say is up there with A plus quality. I can't put it on the watch list as an options trader because the spreads are trash. But if this was anything else, it would certainly, you know, if it was one of the Mag 7 names, this would be the top pick of the day for sure. So if you like it, you know, if you're a common shares trader, you could trade Reddit. Looks good. All right, let's review our list. I see some of you posting tickers. I'm not really doing like charting requests or anything right now. I'm just kind of rolling through. I'm just rolling through my list and building my watch list for the day. This really isn't like a charting request session, so I do apologize for that. I have taken a couple charting requests. That's just because those names are already on my list. But you know, I got to get this watch list done before we're running out of time here. So you know, we'll save that for another session at another time. All right, let's review the list and edit. SPY. So we can't say short below 544 anymore because it has moved lower. So now we just move this line down with every new low that we get. 543, even if you just want to move it down to 542, that's fine. Excuse me. So short below 543 on SPY, long above 550. Apple, same thing. We're going to have to edit this level down. So let's go short on Apple now at 205 rather than 206. So short at 205 and long above 211. Nvidia, this still looks fine as a short idea under 103, price target 100. Great. AMD, this we have to move down. So let's go short under 96.5 now. Price target 95. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we have reviewed the majority of the watch list already. This stream will be available for you to play back after I end it. So if you'd like to go through the whole thing again and see the analysis and see stuff that you missed, feel free. All right, we got 3 more. Tesla. Oh, man, I don't even know if I want to put this on the list. Long at 283 just seems so ridiculous. But I don't really want to go long at 274 because then we have resistance at 278. But maybe if it does reverse, long at 274 takes this to the PDC possibly. Or do we just take it off the watch list totally? Here's what we'll do. Set alerts on Tesla at 283. I'm trading live today, so if that alert goes off, we'll check it out. If it doesn't go off, then there's nothing here. We're gonna forego a recovery. If it recovers, so be it. We'll forego a recovery move on Tesla to capitalize on a move higher the next day. So take Tesla off the list. It just doesn't feel high probability to me. I don't want to waste any space. If you want to be aggressive on this, you can probably go long at 274, 270, 272, wherever. Anything on the break of this downtrend trend line actually looks fine to go long, but I'm not going to do it. I got better setups out there. Google, next one on the list. This is up there with the top pick of the day. This looks pretty good. Short below 150. That's still fine. It's still right above that price point. If this opens lower than 150, move your level down 50 cents. And the last one is Meta, which is short below 550. Let's go ahead and move that down $1. Let's go $2 because this is an expensive stock. Let's go short below 548 on Meta. So move Meta down to 548. Team, you're probably going to have to continue to move these levels down as the market continues to move down. So just keep that in mind, that these levels, you got to be a little flexible with them and adjust them. So that's your full watch list right there. I'm going to go ahead, if you want to screenshot that, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and get this posted for the team. By the way, we are trading live today, and that will be conducted in the Discord server, not here on YouTube. So if you want to trade live with me, head over to the arena, bottom left-hand side of the Discord server. That is where the live trading will be conducted. If you're not a member of the Discord server, join. There should be a link in the description of this live somewhere for you to be able to join the WAP and then get access to the Discord server and, complete this $1,000 account challenge with me. You're not too late. If you want to join, you're not too late. You can start at any time with any amount. All right, so watch list for today. Day trade watch list. Watch list for today is posted. Thank you all so much for your time this morning. I know this was a long stream, but we had to go through and build the whole watch list out. And this is, usually about how long it takes, sometimes longer depending on market conditions. But I think we got a pretty good list. We'll see what kind of price action we're given. We're mostly looking for follow through and the continuation down. Just be really mindful of the fact that we have been in a reversal market and things do feel extended today. So be careful, okay? Be careful. All right, good luck. You got this. Go make some money. If this analysis helps you out or has helped you out, let me know. Send me a message and give me some positivity. Maybe I'll do this more often if I find that everybody's really benefiting from something like this. All right, we'll see you over in the Discord server. Cheers. Take care, everybody, and go make some money. Good luck.